Hello everybody and welcome to a speed build challenge. Okay, so we are going to be doing the Deligracy build crest challenge. If you're not familiar with it, I have a link in the description below where you can go and watch the challenge. It was created by Deligracy, obviously, and she has been pretty much completing each one of these lots that she created that have like different challenges associated with them on her channel, and I've been feeling really inspired to do it myself, so that is what I'm doing here. So this is the first challenge that I did. This one is the use these items. So basically the only thing I was allowed to do was these items were placed here and I had to use them. And I had to keep them where they were. I couldn't move them around the lot, so that was a bit of an issue because I had actually done this challenge once before and recorded it, and I was really, really happy with the way that it came out. But then I went and looked at the rules, and the rules said you can't move the items. And I had moved the items. So I ended up having to redo the challenge, but it was fine. Honestly, I'm happy with the way that this turned out as well. I think it still turned out pretty good. Um, it honestly was kind of a lot of work to do both of these builds because both of them, the first time I tried this, I think it was like 4 hours or something like that I had built it. But I was like talking to my friends on Discord, so it was fun and just chatting away, kind of whatever. But this one, I think this only took me about 2 hours or so. I also decided to limit this to just being base game. So this is a complete base game build. There are no other packs in this at all. It is just base game, which was very challenging because base game honestly doesn't have a lot of stuff, and you kind of forget that after having so many packs for so long. I have all the packs. Yeah, I have all of them except for like some of the kits I don't have because I don't really want them. But I have all like the regular packs, so it was definitely a challenge for me to go and try and build this, especially considering how large this house turned out. I really expected it to be a lot more um, furnished, but honestly, there's like not a whole lot of stuff. So that was kind of an issue that I came across. But for the most part, I think that this house actually did turn out pretty well with all things considering. All things considered, not considering. But sometimes you just need to challenge yourself. So I'm glad I did just base game. I have a couple more of these Build Crest challenges already filmed. They are not base game. So this is the only one so far that I've done that's just restricted to base game. And I don't know. If you guys like this, let me know and I'll be happy to do more base game only builds, but they're just so challenging because there's like almost nothing in the game. I was actually considering maybe even doing just like a base game let's play, like just very vanilla gameplay, like no mods or anything, just playing the Sims 4 base game in 2022 and seeing how that goes. Truthfully, I think that it would probably go pretty poorly because I feel like there's like nothing to do in base game. Anyway, if you're playing with just base game, all the power to you because if you're having a good time, good for you. Honestly, I really truly mean that because I don't think I'd have a very good time. Anyway, so back to the build. So I was kind of going for sort of like a colonial style home, like something that you'd find in like the east coast of the United States, probably somewhere like I don't know, Maryland. It was kind of just my inspiration because it's just so easy that it's just I don't know. It just felt like also like the base game stuff kind of goes with that theme where it's just very like basic and almost colonial like. So that was kind of my idea for this build. In terms of like what it looked like because there was no way I was going to be able to do like a modern build with just base game because there's nothing modern. Well, there is. It's just not very good. But anyway, so this is what I'm working on. So for that archway for the wedding stuff, like to get married underneath, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with that because I did not really want this to be a wedding venue. And so the first time I did this challenge, I actually made like a really cool little garden area using it. And that's kind of what I did here too. I tried to replicate it as much, like the best that I could. But I honestly like the way that it turned out the first time better. But this is what I had to deal with. I also decided also to put in a pool because I just thought it would be kind of nice and kind of fancy and very, very East Coast in my opinion. So I'm not totally against the way that this backyard turned out. It's just not. It's not as good as I had done it the first time. But that was because I could move things around, and this time I couldn't move things around, so I had to just deal with what I had. Um, but yeah, I do like the way it turned out for the most part. I think, honestly, I've honestly seriously been considering doing just a base game build. Or not build, let's play. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that though. Wouldn't it just be kind of boring? Because there'd be nothing going on? Anyway, so let's talk about the build. I keep saying that I'm going to talk about the build, but then I don't. So, it definitely was a challenge. Deli had put a lot of these really random pieces around the house, and I was trying to figure out what to do with them. And obviously there was nothing upstairs. All that was there was stairs, so it had to be a two-story house. So that is why it is two-story. It didn't have to be this big, but I decided to make it a pretty big house because I was like, you know what? I feel like kind of doing like a maybe like a what are they called, like a McMansion or something like that. But yeah, here I'm putting in just these rose bushes because I was like, oh my gosh, it needs some rose bushes. I feel like every McMansion that I've ever seen has rose bushes. But I really like the way that the rose bushes look. I think that they kind of add some color over here. And I used a lot of trees. I think I can't remember. I built this like 2 weeks ago, so um, yeah. Oh, and then those pots. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I couldn't move them. Right, there was like three of them, and I was like, you know what? We're just gonna turn it into like a little garden area. Ideally, I would like to like have it somewhere else and have like a better garden area, but once again, couldn't move the stuff around. Overall, though, I really do think that this challenge was definitely out of my comfort zone. It taught me a lot about myself. Mostly that I don't like base game. But that's pretty much it. That was the big life lesson I learned here. Okay, so we're moving on to the interior. So the interior obviously was a little bit easier to do in terms of like figuring out where things were going to go because they were all kind of in that area already. Well, because they were, they're all kind of like it. There's like a very clear like outline that had to happen, right? Like this had to happen, something similar to this. But one thing that definitely gave me a lot of trouble was the little chess table in the front foyer next to the stairs. And the stairs was another issue because they're so giant. The largeness of the stairs has also led me to doing like a bigger house because I was like, well, if the stairs are gonna be this big, then the house has to be kind of big. But yeah. Oh, also, all things considering, the kitchen for this house is actually kind of small. Despite the fact that that house is it's pretty big. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I think that the interior of this house actually turned out really well. It's like super comfortable. There's definitely a very clear theme going on where like, you know, like you can definitely tell the kind of person that lives here, the kind of stuff that they like. That it's very, very clear. And it is giving kind of EA like base game house, but like that's the point. Like it's an entire base game build. But I tried to like decorate it and make it as interesting as possible on the interior. I was thinking that maybe the people that lived here were just like old money New Englanders. But yeah, I did use a lot of paintings. This house I think ended up being like almost 300 simoleons or 300,000 simoleons. So it's not a cheap house by all means. But you know what? It's all right. You got to make it look nice, and so I had to use a lot of stuff. This is the living area here, and I was really kind of struggling with what I wanted to do here for a second, but then I decided, you know what, we're just gonna go full out. We're gonna make it like very like Richard and Emily Gilmore, like from Gilmore Girls. So that's kind of my idea. But yeah, so this is the way it turned out. I actually really love that there's a bar in here. I don't usually put bars in my living like my living spaces, but I actually really like the way it turned out here. And then this is the office or like library area I was thinking, and I think that it turns out pretty good as well. It's very, very bland and simple, but I really do think that it turned out pretty good. I would have liked to add some more stuff in there, but we really didn't have a whole lot. This bathroom was a pain in my butt, and let me tell you why, because that bonsai tree. Okay, that bonsai tree's in there, and there was a toilet next to it. Like, what? So I ended up just turning it into like this weird little like corner piece where like the bonsai tree is just sticking out. But yeah, and then this area I was also having a hard time deciding what to do with it because I was just like, it's kind of like a giant space and there's not a whole lot going on. So I just put in a piano. Also, if you didn't notice, that chess table, it's facing the wrong way. You can't rotate any of these objects either, I should add. So that chess table, one side of the chess table that you'd normally sit at was facing the stairs. So you could only put one chair there. So I was like, what the heck? So one chair. You get one chair over there. But I think that it looks actually pretty good. Like maybe it's like a memorial, is that the right word I'm thinking of? For somebody who used to live like a grandparent or something. I don't know. I don't know. This is one of the other bathrooms in the house. This house has 4 bathrooms, I believe. So this bathroom I was kind of thinking is like for a guest, because that room next to the bathroom is a guest room. I decided not to make it the master bedroom. The master bedroom's upstairs. And you'll see, it's a giant master bedroom. It is really big. And then this in here, I decided to make it like a little office space, or not office space, like craft space, junk room. I don't know. I just feel like every house like that's big like this has to have something like that. They probably don't, but in my head, This that I'm working on now is the master bedroom. So this bedroom is very large. I think I added another fireplace in here, and then I add in like this door, and I go to work on this bathroom here, and I realize that the bathroom's actually kind of big, so I do turn it into a bathroom closet situation. So when you want to use the bathroom, you have to go through the closet, which is fine. I think that it kind of like, it's like a little privacy, like a little extra privacy, But the bathroom still ended up being pretty big, so I'm not honestly upset about it. I do like the way it turned out. I think it's very interesting, and I think that something like this would make a lot of sense for a house like this. This is the bathroom. One side has more countertop space than the other, kind of like a his and hers sort of bathroom. But I think it looks nice. I mean, obviously I'm a little partial because I'm the one who did this, but there's also another bathroom up here, and then there's 3 bedrooms as well. And I was having a hard time decorating up here. Also, I used that plant like 100 times in this build. That plant is all over this build. And then I didn't know what to do with this space over here. I was like, what to do? And I was like, I'm just gonna put like a sitting area. I don't know. There's nothing else to do. There's no like universal TV area, so like I could have maybe put like a TV area up there, but I decided not to do that either. This room here is for one sim. I'm assuming that this is a pretty large family. Like I'm thinking like, I don't know. Technically, I think that if you wanted 8 sims to live in here, they could and like be comfortable. But I think that there's enough space for 7 sims. 2, 4, 6, 8. No, there's room for 8. There's room for 8. But yeah, so that first bedroom I was thinking was like for like a teenager who's like really into music, obviously. This room is obviously for a young girl who's probably, I mean, she's probably a teenager, but she's definitely into pink and all that sort of stuff over there. And then this room I was thinking is for probably like, I don't know, like twin boys, maybe twin tom girls, I don't know. Just two kids can stay in here. That was kind of my idea. And then this is the last bathroom. So this is the bathroom that all the kids would share. And honestly, if I had to share a bathroom with 3 of my siblings, I think I would die. In fact, I have done that before, and it's awful. But anyway, so we're moving on to the photos now. And if you want to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to download this house, you can find it on the gallery underneath URDADDISON. That is my username. You can find it on the screen right now too. So if you liked it, just let me know. If you guys are excited for more Buildcrest videos, also let me know. I'm very excited about them. I've been doing them like pretty much every night and like just talking to my friends for hours while I'm working on these builds, and it's so fun. It's so relaxing to just build in The Sims. I just love it so much. But anyway, I'm going to let the videos finish off here, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!